MV Niobe Corinthian.
Beaky for me.
We thoroughly enjoyed it.
I feel like that's something Brittany would do.
What do you mean, Brittany? Brittany?
Yeah.
Come on, Robin, smile. Chris driving.
With his glasses on.
With his glasses on. Just don't hit the big ship there, right? And we're good.
Yeah, right. Actually, we're aiming for the number 3 boy.
Okay.
It is right in there.
And then they were like, oh, this rusty piece of metal, this thing looks bad. We're gonna sink it. So they just kind of catapulted it and they sunk it. And they went down sideways and then we're back. It's too frightening.
As Hull and me drop down on this amazing wreck, the MV Niobe Corinthian, we come across 3 soapfish. Now you don't really see these fish during the days, they're normally hiding under some reef, but we wickedly found 3 of them just playing around in some rope just off the anchors of the Corinthian wreck as we make our way entering the dark zones. Now we don't take tourists at all or guide divers into this area with their customers at Dive Bermuda because it is very, very dark. There's no cutout holes. There is lines in here, and of course we were lining ourselves in, but as you can see, it is very, very silty. It's always like this in this wreck, in this section. Silty, and if you have a diver it kicks up, it just is a complete blowout, blackout. You see nothing. So this is why we never take any tourists or customers into this area of the wreck. Plus, you have to be wreck trained because, as you know, in PADI standards or any other recreational courses, you only can go within 40 meters of the light zone, and when you're in this area, you're beyond 40 meters normally from the surface and the light zone as well. As you can see, it is very, very dark in here, but it's really cool as we come across the fuse boxes and control panels of the engine room. And we're just looking around, seeing what we can find inside the engine room, and it is very, very silty. Holly found a big spiny lobster in here, but of course I missed it because at one point I was on the other side of the engine blocks, so I didn't see it, and she turned her light away and it was pitch black to where I was at the time. But we're just moving our way through. As you can see, we have some roof that's collapsed down, and that's another reason we don't like taking people in this area, because it is at risk of areas still falling off, like the plyboards and the ceiling panel tiles to come down still. As we move our way back out, and you can just see how silty it is as we come out the engine room, but we work our way down the corridor to head up a set of stairs towards the next level. But me and Holly quickly popped out of the wreck at this point because it was getting very, very silty, and we weren't overly too sure which part we were. We went for a nice explore in there, but we decided it was time to turn around because we were starting to run out of line ourselves. So we headed back on our line and headed to the main areas of the wreck where we would take tourists into. And we move into the lobby rooms, if you want to call them, or a gaming room, because this ship used to be an old casino ship. It was originally a BP ship working the oil platforms, and then was converted to a casino ship as we head our way towards the kitchen. And again, the kitchen area is not an area we take customers into as well, because as you can see, we have wall panels, roof panels have all collapsed, and there's no real cutouts at this point to escape for divers. So again, you have to be wreck trained to come into this part, and normally we would not take customers in here. But as you can see, we come into the kitchen and we have the oven, or some people might say oven. Let us know how you comment below, how you say it. Just below, and you can see the doors open, and you can see the hobs above, with also the splash guard, metal splash guard shining back to us. As I'm having a look around, seeing what else I can find in the kitchen, find this kitchen sink, and also the like pantry doorways, or I don't know what you call that again, when the doorways open up to serve for this waitress to collect the food to take to the customers. And there's Holly. Holly loves cooking. She's an absolute whiz at cooking, and there she is, looking at it, the cooker, seeing if it's still going to work. Trying to warm her hands up because it was a bit cold in this dive. As you can see, she's giggling as we're having a bit of fun as we head away into like the galley of the dining room area of the ship. And we're just seeing what we can see, being very wary that the ceiling panels and also the wall panels have been collapsing. So just keeping aware of our bearings, keeping aware of what's around us. And of course, I'm trying to get some light up of Holly to see, get an image of her coming across. But of course, I'm blinding her. So, sorry Holly for that. As we head our way back towards the casino rooms, we come across the toilets. Just casually, a random toilet just sitting there. And then before I go in the next room, there's 2 toilets. I'm like, okay. And we also have the flooring still sitting there. Doubt the flush still works now. But we continue heading out, back out the wreck, out of one of the little cut-throughs that has been made available for divers to escape. So we kind of head out this way to then decide which part of the wreck are we going to explore next. And there again, I'm accidentally blinding Holly again. But this ship was an old casino ship I was saying, and as you can see it says government property, no trespassing. So the way, before I get to the history of this wreck, I'll come up to that in a minute, we're just going to head up the staircase from one of the gaming floors to the next gaming floor as we're slowly making our way up the stairs, which is pretty cool the way these stairs are. And I love taking divers up here because it's a bit of a spiral and the divers absolutely love that. But you have to be so careful in this wreck with your finning techniques, because if you're not very careful with the finning techniques, you will rip the whole silt up. It's a very, very silty wreck, as you can just see that thick layer of silt just covering the floor and covering the stripper poles and stripper dance platforms as well. And then Holly is just coming up behind me, and she's like walking up, cruising in her own way around, and sees me with the camera like, wait, you, stop, hold on, I have an idea, wait, do not move, stay there. I'm like, oh boy, what's she got in plan this time? And here she comes, typical Holly, walking up the steps with no fins, just thinking she's a normal person. You could just see the light bulb flick to her head, and now she's taking her way up the steps as if she's just, the ship's normal, it's not underwater. She's just coming up. But as I always say guys, Holly does Holly. Holly loves being in the water and just enjoying having fun. As she works her way up, trying so hard to not float away, because if anyone knows, if you take your fins off, you float up very easily. And she only had, I think, 2 pounds on or 3 pounds of weight, so in her 3mm zipless wetsuit, so she wish she had a bit more weight so she could easily walk on it, but she did a pretty good job considering she only had 3 or 4 pounds. She might have even had 2 to be honest, because she doesn't need much weight. But as I was saying, the history of the shipwreck. So gambling is illegal in Bermuda, as we just make our way towards the bridge just now. But gambling is illegal in Bermuda, and what some clever businessmen came up with the idea was, let's create a ship with casinos, fly-in strippers, escorts across from the US, and let's take the ship 12 nautical miles offshore, where Bermuda's gaming laws cannot be enforced anymore. Technically, international waters. Seemed a great idea, really clever at first, but the Bermuda government caught on to that and was like, no, that's illegal still, because this ship is still carrying the casino machines heading out of the harbour. Now they would keep the game machines turned off till they go out. They maybe got 3 or 4 trips out, but the government had enough of it and seized the ship. The ship sat in St. David's, rusting away for a long time until the Stemple Foundation took the ship, which the Stemple family were the ones who created AIG. They came up with the idea of, let's actually take the ship, make it diver friendly. It's just falling apart, rusting there, and let's sink it for divers, give a new attraction into Bermuda. And they did that. They took this wreck in 2017 and sunk it in the North Lagoon of Bermuda, and it's become a very popular dive site with the locals and also with tourists visiting the island. It's a beautiful wreck. Dive Bermuda at Grotto Bay, dive all the time, and if you ever want to dive this wreck, check out them. I'll leave a link in the description to their website. We were out diving with them. Of course, being instructed to them, we get to go out and dive this wreck all the time. It's a stunning wreck, but if you're in Bermuda, I would highly recommend doing it. As Holly is now having gymnastics on top of the wreck. Don't hate her, there's no life on this, there's no growth, she's just having fun, enjoying herself. She used to be a gymnast when she was younger, doing the beam and also the bars. Apparently she was brilliant in the beam. Seen some videos of her, amazing balance, back flips, front flips, routines. I mean, even if I tried to stand on that myself normally, I'd fall off, let alone doing back flips and front flips and everything. But fair play to Holly, always having fun in the water, enjoying herself. And that's what we say, guys, it's all what diving is about, having fun in the water. Holly has literally found a little crab, and when in a little hole, when she puts her finger next to it, the crab is sitting there eating, I don't want to say bacteria off her fingers because her hands are normally very clean, but literally cleaning her fingernails, cleaning up her, just having a bit of fun. But I really hope you guys enjoyed coming out and exploring the inside of the Corinthian shipwreck, the areas that you don't normally get to see with me and Holly. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, as always, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. It helps us out more than you'll ever realise with helping spread the word of diving, getting out to more people. So thank you so much, guys, from me and Holly, and we'll see you in the next episode.